Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to my glass studio. You know, it occurred to me I don't have a lot of projects that are very super easy and simple that you could use to create just, a wonderful design. You could use to introduce someone new to glass fusing, or you could make with some kids, or something you could make just fast and easy and super fun. So I decided to come up with this little project here, and I'm real excited about the way it came out, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you how this is made. This project will be made with 2 full layers of glass. I have this 6" by 6" piece of clear. I'm going to use that as the base and build on top of it. Then I've selected a bunch of fun colors. Got this lavender and this pretty blue and this lovely green here, this kind of spring green, and some red, pop of color there. And what I did was I selected some opal colors. So if I had a transparent color, I selected opal colors that match, not match tone or exact color, but I've got an opal blue and a transparent blue, an opal red, a transparent red. I've got an opal green, transparent green, and then I also have some orange here, and I have yellow, and I also have some opal yellow. I'm going to put some opal yellow in this project. So although it's going to be kind of a random design, I do have some planning involved. I do have some colors I selected. I like the idea of some of the pieces being, the bulk of the pieces being transparent, that jewel tone where you get that wonderful, bright color going through it. Let me move that where you can see it better right here. There we go. There, look at this white. You can see it better. Look how lovely that is. And that's really going to allow the light to go through it and make this piece bright and shiny. So I've already cut the base. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to take these other colors. And this project is something that you might like to make with someone that's younger, or someone that's new to glass fusing, or someone that's new to cutting glass. I was asked to make some pieces, some design ideas that you could either, build something with your grandchildren or introduce someone new to fusing, to the craft. And I realized I don't really have a lot of simple projects, so I decided to make one. This is a grid system that I can use to cut glass strips consistently and evenly and with good accuracy. The benefit is you have better accuracy and you have less waste because you really have nice cuts. The first thing I do though is I'm going to check this bottom edge here and see, I'll bring this into the image a little bit better, and see if it's square, and it's not. See, it's rocking? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll check the second edge. That one looks really good. So I'm going to take my cutter and just nip a little bit off so that I have a really nice square edge. Oh, and wouldn't you know, darn thing breaks. Let's do that again. Because when you're creating something with strips and squares, you really want those edges to be nice and straight and accurate, because that really improves the project, the quality of it and the way everything fits. I'm going to turn this the other direction. I'm going to cut a 1" wide piece here. Hold that in place. Run my score line, and there we've got a nice 1" strip. So I'm going to cut a bunch of strips out of these other pieces. Everything's going to be based on 1" squares and 1" strips, and the width the lengths will be determined by the design as we put it together. So the trick to a good score is consistent pressure from beginning to end. And when we have someone that's new to cutting glass, first of all, they're intimidated by the idea of working with glass and cutting glass. Secondly, they want to really push hard, and you have to encourage them to have a light touch with the glass. Now this I can see right away has a bad edge here. So I'm going to check this other edge, which looks good. We'll cut a fresh, clean end. There we go. Put that over here in the scrap. And now I'm going to rotate this direction and cut a 1" wide piece. Now I've decided to do the opals in 1" pieces, 1" by 1" pieces, and then fill in the rest with the transparent colors, because I don't want a lot of opal. I want a lot of transparency on this project. I love that jewel tone effect. There we go. Let's take this orange. This is probably already 1". Yep, it is. Go ahead and cut a square out of that. Line that up. So as I was mentioning the score line, new people want to push really hard. So encourage them to use a light touch but be consistent with their score from the beginning to the end, and then they'll have terrific success. And when they have terrific success, they're going to be so thrilled with their project that they're going to want to do more. And gosh, who doesn't love company out in the studio? I certainly do. And we're going to go ahead and cut that. Look at this pretty blue we've got there. And then I've got this opal blue. I'm going to use that as well. Cut a 1 inch of that. Now that one has kind of a stinky edge. So I'm going to cut a fresh one. I didn't like that one. Again, because I want my pieces to fit nicely. So I'm using this tool here to cut nice straight pieces. And that edge didn't come out good either. When I'm doing stuff that's straight, if I don't like the piece of glass, I just cut a new one because I'd rather have the artwork fit better. And I can just use these little pieces in other projects down the road. So we got the blue, the orange, the green, got the transparent yellow, green, and blue. And now I'm going to start laying them out on the piece of clear that we have here for the bottom. I wanted the design to be simple enough that someone who's new could put it together, or maybe you just want to make something quick and easy and you don't want to put, maybe you're mentally exhausted and you just want to build something where you can just go out in your studio and just have a good time. So as I'm laying these out, I'm thinking to myself, first of all, I want to make sure these pieces of glass are good and clean. So I'm going to wipe them off. I did clean the sheets before I cut them up, but if you see any fingerprints on them, you definitely want to clean that off before you finish assembling. So as I'm putting this together, I'm thinking I want to design, I played with the little pieces. I'll show you kind of what I was doing. Now I tried doing, something like this, kind of, that kind of design. I thought, well, that's boring. So I was like, all right, well, I could do that. Well, I don't think that's any more interesting either. Then I could, kind of do something like this where maybe I cut this one in half. Let's just do that. Let's cut it to 3 inches. That would be about that length right there. Go ahead and cut that. And suppose I visually wanted it to look like the color was turning a corner, but going underneath, kind of weaving like this was going here under the green and then this way. And I liked that visual effect. And I don't really want an orange next to an orange, and I don't really want a red next to a red, especially if it's a transparent red or an opal red. So as I was putting this together, I tried a whole variety of different ways. I tried doing something sort of like this with the opals. I didn't want to put them on edge because that makes the cutting more complicated, and I wanted to keep that kind of simplistic. I thought about doing something like that, and then, all right, well, how would I treat this? I could do that. I could do this. Well, this one's not quite the right size, but you get the idea. I could put the green one over here, well, like here, because I don't want it to come in contact with the other green. And as I was putting this together, I played with the colors as I was doing it so that I came up with a combination that I felt looked pretty good. All right, so I think, oh gosh, I don't even know how this goes. So this is the combination that I came up with here. And I'll explain a little bit more after I get some of these pieces laid out. So if I use a color in one place, I want to use it in one more or potentially 2 more places. So you'll see there's multiple pieces of this aqua in the finished project, in the finished assembly. There's multiple pieces of this green. See here, this is where I have the green kind of visually making a turn, and I thought that was cool. And then if you keep that concept going, the blue here is making a turn, is visually going behind this orange. Now here I have 2 oranges together. Not a fan of that. This one goes here, I believe. And that one goes there. And then this purple tucks right in here, and the green and orange over here. So I need to move this and put it somewhere else because I don't want these 2 to kind of connect with each other there. So let's see how we can put this together to make it a little different. All right, well, let's put the blue and the purple in over here. And actually, if I move this orange and the blue, but then I have the blue next to the orange, I don't want that either. So, suppose I if I alternate the red, then I have red next to red. I could swap this out for purple. Let's try that. There we go. All right, I think that's cool. So now I have 3 opals next to each other though, so I don't know that I like that. Maybe I swap this out for the transparent purple. There we go. Oh, now I got purple next to purple. Oh, this is getting complicated. Okay, so if I swap these 2, then visually, okay, now I still have 3 opals right close together. Don't know if I like that. So anyway, but visually, the green kind of makes this little shape here with these 2, you know, disturbing it or weaving underneath it. The purple does this. Ooh, that's crazy. Or it does this and then over. That could visually work. The blue does an L shape here. These blues, it kind of staggers, but it connects over here. The yellow connects this way. So I got 3 opals right here in a row. What happens if I switch out these 2? Or I switch out, why did I switch this one with the transparent red? We could do that. All right, then I have these opals. I have opal here, opal, no, transparent, opal. Okay, wait a minute, hold on, I'm all confused. Opal, no. Opal, opal, and opal. So I've got a red and purple on an edge, a green on an edge, yellow on an edge. Do I want to put this blue over here so it's on the edge? Let's try it. Okay. So now I have red, yellow, green, and blue on the edge. Orange kind of in the middle. I'm okay with that. So now, though, do I want to move that orange right here? No, then I have red next to red. If I move the orange here, if I move the blue, now then I have blue next to blue, I can have purple next to purple, so that's not going to work. So that orange is going to stay exactly where it is. And I think that looks great. All right, so when you're doing square stuff, you know, you want to try to get your pieces to fit as nicely as you can. But, you know, you are going to have some variations in there, and that's okay. Here's the project in the kiln. We're going to take this to a full fuse firing, and then we'll come back and check it out. All right, we're back out here in the studio. Let's open this kiln. Wow, look how pretty. Ooh, love these colors. Okay, well, I'm feeling pretty good about the way this came out. Got nice edge quality here, beautiful details. Look visually how the green kind of does this. I kind of like that. This kind of does that a little bit. I think the purple does that. You know, I'd never really considered the purple and what it was going to do. I was more concerned about the blue and the green, but the purple is kind of a nice, you know, visual pattern it's creating there. And another interesting thing about this is, look, this is orange, and that's red. Look how, I'm sorry, this is a transparent red, right? Yeah, transparent red, transparent orange. There was occasion where I was making some artwork where there were lips, and I made lips out of red and decided it was too deep, that the orange actually made a better lip color. So isn't it interesting how rich this is? I mean, the red is pretty, but this is kind of in line with if they weren't side by side, you would almost think that was a red. And then we got the opaque here and here. Got opaque here, here, and here, and here. So we've got some of those opaque colors contrasting that transparent color. So, yeah, I could leave it like this, which I think would be pretty, but I believe this, if it had a little bit of a lift and a little bit of contour to it, some rise to the 4 corners, that the light would just go through this beautifully. So I'm going to take this out of the kiln. Actually, we're going to take out this kiln shelf so that the glass is as far away from the coils that are in the lid as possible. I'm going to place this mold in here. Now this mold has been primed, it just doesn't look it. So I re-prime my kiln shelves every time I use them, but I only prime my molds when they show signs of wear. Signs of wear would be, it looks like it's chipping, it looks like it's thin, because this is going to a much lower temperature. So the kiln primer on this mold lasts a lot longer than it does on a shelf when you're going to a much hotter temperature. So we're going to go ahead and close this kiln. We're going to fire this to the slumping temperature, and then we'll open it up after it's been cooled, and we'll see what we have. Alright, so the project has been through the kiln the second time, this time to slump in a ceramic mold. And look how beautiful this is. Wow. I really love the colors. Love how these raised edges, these raised corners give it lift, make the colors kind of pop a little bit more, gives it a three-dimensional quality. It's going to look really beautiful sitting on a table where the light will go through the glass, leave a reflection that gives us not only a three-dimensional physical quality, but a three-dimensional visual quality with that beautiful reflection it's going to create on the surface. Colors are just really nice, nice jewel tones. As a matter of fact, I'm going to name this piece Jewel because I think it's so lovely. It's such a gem. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this piece, and you give a little more thought when you're going really simple as to how you can create visual pattern, visual movement within your art simply by the way you lay out your glass colors, and you think a little bit more about it rather than just doing like a pattern that's very symmetrical or very uniform. Change up that pattern a little bit to give your piece a more unique look and a visual appearance where the eye moves around the art in a new and exciting way. So even something super simple like this can really be quite elaborate. And you see it from the pictures that this is just a lovely piece of art. It's going to be great with any number of installations, on a white table, or put candy in it, or just put a pedestal underneath it, so the light goes through it. Maybe prop it up in front of a window. That would be beautiful as well. So thanks for joining me. Please follow, like, and subscribe my YouTube channel. We love when you comment. We love when you share. All those things show us that you're enjoying these videos, and it helps us get encouraged and motivated. And out here in the studio, when it's hot, when it's cold, when it's raining, all these, when the birds are singing, when there's no birds singing, when there's all sorts of chaos and noise going on, we're out here making fun videos to encourage you and inspire you, get you out in your studio being creative. So please like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment. Also, become a premium video member. We'd love to have you. We have new courses coming out all the time. Each course is a full-length, step-by-step video instruction. Comes with pattern ebook that you can print. The pattern ebook has a full-size pattern. It has firing guides, pro tips, lots of images, before and after images, to guide you step-by-step through the process of creating that project, having a wonderful time and wonderful success. So become a premium video member. We'd love to have you. And until next time, happy fusing.